Hey everybody, how you been? If you follow this channel, you'll probably remember this car. And if you don't, that's okay. Well, this is the car we've decided that we're going to start chasing the Pro-Am competition with. It's been our, what do we want to call it? I don't know. It's blown up on us twice. It's sat, we fix it, it breaks, we fix it, it breaks. It's been a little bit of a stressful car we've dealt with, but did rebuild a motor. It should be good enough of an engine to compete in a Pro-Am circuit. We just got to do some suspension. I'm working on the fuel lines and stuff. We get all that wrapped up, get the car wrapped, then we'll be ready to put this thing on the track. I think last time I talked to you guys, we was trying to pay off some bills, trying to save some money, debating on building a garage or whatever. Well, I hadn't got the garage, and I hadn't done a lot of work on any cars. We have been drifting. I've been posting a few just clips from some of the stuff we've been doing. We have taken a break. We're not 100% back just yet, but we got some things in the works. So let's get you up to speed here. All right, if you remember the silver IS300, I've been buying up some fuel lines for that. The only thing I have left is the actual drop-in piece for the fuel tank. And once I get that, which it's like 600 bucks or something, once I get that piece, I'll be ready to put all the fuel system together in that silver IS300. I got one issue with the clutch fork touching the pressure plate. I think that's just a bolt-up issue. Hopefully I can fix it with it still in the car. If not, we'll have to pull the trans again, which that's what we have to do. But once we do that, we're ready to go to the dyno. And with the upgraded fuel system, I may go ahead and change the clutch anyway. I may go ahead and pull that transmission. I hadn't accounted to go this high horsepower, but now has the non-VVTi 2JZ GE rods, which are supposed to be the same as the GTE rods from what I've read and heard. Okay, so now I've got the non-VVTi rods in it, and then I'll put the GTE brand new pistons and did the bigger ring gap for higher heat, higher pressure, whatever, and all new bearings, new mains, main studs. I didn't do aftermarket mains. So the head's got a valve job and all this stuff, but I didn't do valve springs or retainers. I did stud it. At some point down the road here, we may go ahead and run it for a while or whatever, or if I come up with the money, may go do cams and valve springs. So if we can do that before, we may get to that. But we've got that in the works. And we bought a black BMW E36 four-door. I think it's a 325. The rear diff, thought it was the bolt that breaks loose on the rear diffs. Well, what's happened is the whole subframe is tore loose, which they're notorious for doing. Well, I bought all the kit to weld it back in after I got the car and I got to looking at it. It has the kit in it. It just tore loose with the kit attached, so somebody didn't do it right. But I have the kit now. So I was in a dilemma of, do I pay somebody to disassemble it and maybe take it to a shop, because it runs and drives. Take it to a shop, have somebody disassemble it, weld it out, and pay, I don't even know, nobody's quoted the price of doing it, and pay, just be at the mercy of whatever a shop charges me. I don't even want to say a number because I really realistically don't know. I did buy my own welder, so do I spend a bunch of money paying somebody else to weld it, or buy my own welder, and once the smoke clears, pun intended there, I guess, once the smoke clears, the BMW is done, I still have a welder. Well, if I still have a welder, I can pick up stitch welding on the S13, and the welder I bought's a better welder. It's a Millermatic 142, if you want to look that up and check out the specs on it, but it's a Millermatic 142. Well, the guy that welds all my diffs and welds all my exhaust and stuff, he's got a Millermatic 140. So with the 140 and he welds diffs, I know it'll burn the weld in on a diff, so I wanted to buy that same welder. Well, that's an older model. The 142 is the newer model, so I went ahead and got the 142, and it's got the smart weld on it, so you literally just start welding. I guess it can tell how fast, or you know, the wire feed or what voltage you need to be. It like automatically sets itself. So got that thing. Today we'll go over a little bit of what this thing actually comes with, in case you're interested. So right off the top, you got the Millermatic, the manual to this thing. That's kind of the layout of it. And there'll be a package. You got a T-handle. I'm not 100% sure for what it's for. You've got the clamp, the hose for the gauges. Yeah, so you have to put the ground clamp on. And it comes with a spool of wire. But you definitely do have to put the ground clamp on this thing. All right, so, and it does come with some tips. Move that to the side. Let's get some more stuff out. All right, so as you can see, comes with the gauges. It comes with the hose that fits in. Just plugs it in. I guess that's where it feeds into the machine as well. For the wire, I'd say this piece goes in the wire. We'll figure it all out here in a minute, but it does come with the gauges, hoses, wire. There's your ground clamp in the bag. Got new tips. And looks ready to work. So that's all the accessories that come with it, I think. We'll drag out the machine itself, but you do got a gauge to come with it, and you do got the hose that came with it. So I do have the tank and a cart. So okay, here's the machine straight out of the box, brand new. It's got a heavy duty 110 plug on it. That thing's, it's a big cord on here. So yeah, this thing is a 110. The ground wire's in here. It is already hooked up, so you won't have to hook it up. You just have to run it and put your clamp on the end. You can run it out the front here, out the hole with the regular hoses. Doing all that stuff. There's where your wire feed goes. There's where your wire lives. It has the plug. This thing will run aluminum, but the different type of spool mechanism. So instead of having just a regular MIG this way, it'll have a big spool on it that lives where the wire is, and you can weld aluminum with it with the attachment. It's a whole nother hose and feed, but this will run it, and it automatically detects it. So that's the good thing about this. It's got all your how-tos up here, your polarity, if you want to change any of that, all your different materials and thicknesses, what it should weld, the wire size you should use. This thing has an auto set and a manual mode. So, like I say, with this unit, we should be able to weld fairly thick material. The guy that does our muffler work, like I say with him, he welds all of our diffs and stuff. And if I can't get it to weld the diffs, I can't get the temperature right or something, I'll just pay 30 bucks and have him do it. You know, I'm not against that. But this with the auto set, it may or may not work that way. A friend of ours, Cheeseburger, pretty good dude, been friend with him for a long time. I'll get with Cheeseburger, I'll have him help me set this thing up and dial it in. And that way I'll be a little more familiar with this machine I mean, he's been a welder for, I hate to say it, but since we started in high school, the first year of high school, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. 24. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all, it's been 20 plus years anyway. So yeah, 20 plus years he's been welding. He works as a welder right now at a place doing, I guess they got rail cars that come in damaged, and he's the welder for repairing those things. We'll get this thing set up, get the E36 up here, try to fab that subframe, try to somehow figure that out and get it straightened out. The stud is hanging down. Well, it's broke. Well, if you just take the subframe down and just dive it up there and then weld it, well, you know you've got to have that thing center of that hole in that subframe bushing, or you'll never be able to put it back on. So somehow we got to get everything out except for the subframe, and the bolt, we have to keep it in the hole and try to weld or tack or get it in place best we can before we drop the subframe out, because we can't lose our placement of the hole because it's got to go back on. We now have our own welder. I do got to get a big extension cord, a big old 3/4 or 1/2 inch. It'd be bigger than that. A big 110 extension cord to reach from behind here back around to where the car is sitting, or where it will be once I get everything where I want it. Just a few more pieces to this puzzle. This thing, I bought it off eBay. I paid $1,240 something, tax and shipping and everything. It's got a warranty and all that stuff, so we should be okay on it. Like I said, I do have the cart and the argon from the earlier machine that I had that I don't like. It may be, it may not be the machine. It may be 100% me, but I can't weld with it at all. And Cheeseburger claims it's operator error, and that's okay. But this dude's got an automatic setting on it, and I should be able to weld something with it on an automatic setting, surely. All right, here we go.
I'm feeling high.